Hey guys, I'm really excited to be here again, Jason Emer, on the Grind Blueprint podcast, where we interview entrepreneurs, people that are upcoming and being successful in their industry, and just those that are basically supportive and building of their communities and of their clientele. I'm really excited to bring one of my trainers here. That's why I'm dressed up in my workout gear and showing off my legs, because a couple years ago, I brought in Chelsea Badoo, who you guys got to follow on Instagram, Chelsea Badoo Fitness, because her legs and her body is insane. And I was like, just like when patients come to me, they're like, if he looks good, he's going to make me look good. When I saw her legs, her butt, her abs, I was like, I need to hire her because she's going to do that for me. And that was, again, my life kind of transition the past couple years, getting really into health and fitness. I brought her in and everything has transformed. You guys are probably seeing on Jason Emer official Instagram, all the workouts that we've been doing is at least 2-3 times a week minimum. And most of the time it's legs, because you get your highest testosterone, you get your most results when you work your lower body. So I had to bring her on the podcast because I need you guys to learn about her. Not only is she sexy and fit, she's very intelligent, really smart, and she deserves for people to know what she stands for and what she does, because it is definitely an inspiration. So welcome to Grind Blueprint. I'm excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm flattered. I feel like I'm blushing right now. I need that as a clip.
Okay, we will give her that clip so she can use it on Instagram. Or you know what? You just listen to it every day. Make it when someone calls you, you just make it the ringtone.
Okay.
That's what you should do. She is sexy, she's fit, and just play that over and over. So, all right, tell everybody your name, your Instagram, and what you do. Let's just start with that. Simple, but it's important.
Great. Well, hello, and thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I'm really excited and honored to be here. My name is Chelsea Badoo, for those of you who don't know. And my Instagram is Chelsea Badoo Fitness, and I'm a trainer based in Los Angeles, California.
And what's your specialty? Like, what do you love to do?
Great question. I have a lot of clients. I mean, my clients have all various goals, and a lot of them do come to me for lower body and glute building. And I love it. I mean, I've been training. I started working out when I was 14, and I had no clue what I was doing. And
what was the first workout like? How did that happen?
I just ran. I just put on some running shoes and went outside and went for a run. And I just continued on my journey and started going to the local YMCA. And I, again, didn't know what I was doing, and I was shy. And so I would go to the gym, and I became friends with some of the trainers there, and they would show me a few exercises here and there. I would do my own research. I would go to the library, and I would grab a women's health magazine and try and figure it out on my own. And
that's actually how I learned. I used to buy, at the grocery store, they used to have all the magazines.
Yeah, like
now they don't.
Health.
Yeah, I bought Men's Health all the time. No,
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was actually looking at the guys too. I definitely was looking to see what bulges I could see. It's probably how I got into the penis enlargement stuff. But still, you would see I would look at the guys' bodies and be like, wow, they look really good. And then they would have all the workouts in there before all Instagram was. So I would get all those magazines and I just learned from there.
That was like our social media back in the day. That's how I kind of got into it, and I loved it, and I just wanted to keep learning. And then at that time, like, YouTube was starting to become more of a thing, so I would look up workouts to do on YouTube at home. And at one point, I was into Beachbody, and I bought the name of it was like Brazilian Bum Bum, and I was all about that one, and I would pop that CD in the laptop.
They have that cream now, you guys, at Sephora. They have that cream now. It's acai berry and coffee berry, and it's called Brazilian Bum Bum cream.
Brazilian one?
Yeah.
That's in the yellow bottle, right? That
stuff
smells so good.
I know, it's coconut. It's all coconut.
It's so good.
All the girls like the coconut, I'm telling you for sure.
Yeah,
but so when you started doing that, what was the inspiration for it? Like, why all of a sudden just jump and start to run? Were you stressed out and you wanted to release? Did you feel like it was going to do something for you, for your body? Because now we know with training, there's an elation, there's release of stress. It makes you look and feel good, builds your confidence. Were you secretly like looking for that at that time, or no?
Well, when I was younger, in my early teens, I was just tired of being heavy set because I grew up being a
Got
little
it.
heavier. My family wasn't very athletic. And I mean, they put me in soccer, but I wasn't a fan of it. I wanted to be a goalie because I didn't want to run. I just wanted to stand there. It was
Sounds like
not
me.
my favorite.
Hate the
Yeah.
cardio.
Yeah, I hated it. Like, I just didn't fully enjoy it. And as I got older, I just was tired of being out of shape and not being physically able to do certain things. And I was tired of it. So I started running and working out. And I think at that point, I wanted to change my physique because I wanted to feel more confident in how I looked. And as I get older, 30, woo!
Oh, wow. She looks very young, though. I'm a dermatologist, you guys. She uses Emer Skin. Trust me.
I'm actually wearing that tinted sunscreen
Oh,
right now.
tinted
It's so
SPF.
good.
It's perfect.
So good. The best on the market.
Yes, that's right.
But yeah, as I got older, I just want to feel good. I want
Mm-hmm.
to feel good and I want to be physically able to continue to move my body and train and yeah, just feel good. So my goals for training and the purpose for training has changed over time. But the reason why I love it so much, as I've been in this industry for about 10 plus years, I love to help people and I love to see their confidence grow. And I love to see their bodies change. Like yours has changed significantly.
Oh, yeah.
You look
Look,
incredible.
I got some vascularity right now. I got a little
Yeah.
bicep.
And
You
the
guys see that? Right
legs.
here, it's popping out.
There
It's
we
popping
go.
out.
Come on.
Lucas.
Yeah, exactly. So it's good. It's
But it
such a
builds
good
that confidence
feeling.
for sure. And that's one of the
Really
reasons that I
does.
went into my field.
Yeah.
And that's why pretty much every person I'm bringing on here, in some way, they inspire people to look better, feel better, and change their lives.
Yeah.
It may be, if a teacher is doing it for education reasons and they
Right.
inspire someone to do a career, or in this instance, you're doing things on the outside physically for people that make that they look at themselves every day, and it's important for them to want to fit into certain clothes, to
Yeah.
look a certain, feel sexual, have like sexual, sexy to other
feel
people,
sexy, yeah.
because they want to be able to, attract others or their partners or whatever. There's a lot, I think, that plays a role when it comes to self-confidence. And exercise is a huge
Yeah.
component. I actually think that the biggest entrepreneurs are the ones that at least wake up before 8 a.m. and get to the gym, get their
Yeah.
ass into the gym. I want to tell you guys something. My typical times with Chelsea is about 5 to 6 a.m. To me, that's the billionaire's time. That's what I think. Those are the people that need to get that done, want to work out super hard. When I started at Stronghouse, which we'll talk about in a second,
Yeah.
every girl there was done with their workout by the time I got there.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I thought I was getting up early and I could barely get my fiance up, because we missed Sunday's session. And yet all the girls are almost done. So explain that to me, because where you work out now, which I'll want to go into in a little bit, is serious. Like, these people take the workout seriously. And I think it's how they look and how they feel.
Yeah. There's no games. We don't play around. We got to get it in and be done with it.
And they're doing like step mill and legs.
Yes.
Like, that's the hardest, you
Yeah.
guys. I want you to know.
The women in there are incredible. We continuously inspire each other all the time.
Yes.
And it's such a loving environment too. And we're always uplifting one another. But it's really dope to see the women in there lifting heavy,
Oh, yeah.
like sometimes heavier than the guys.
I would say many heavier than me.
Yeah.
I do high reps now.
Yeah, you do. And it's just great. I love it.
So you're basically inspiring people to make changes in their body.
Yeah.
I inspire people to do similarly. Some people, they may have problem issues where they carry fat in a certain way and they need to do a surgery to get it fixed. I have no problems in doing that for enhancement. We've sent you clients of mine that have had surgery that now look and feel their best.
Yeah.
How do you feel about people actually getting cosmetic surgery or doing those things to complement what they're doing in the gym?
Yeah, great question. I have worked with a few clients that have had plastic surgery, and I can see an overall like confidence boost. And then especially if they've had a huge weight loss and they want to get rid of that extra skin.
That's always the hardest.
Yeah. And I've just seen so much more confidence and when they pair that with weight training, it's like a completely different person.
Yeah.
Especially a year later after consistency, after surgery and training, a complete shift. A
Yeah, and
completely different
sometimes it's
person.
actually hard to show that actually on social media because some people, when they're standing up straight and they have muscle because they're working out,
Yeah.
those people that have lost a lot of weight, they typically are exercising already, but
Right.
you can't see that definition because all of the muscles hidden underneath the skin. And so when they're
Correct.
standing, they look okay, but if they bend forward or pull their skin,
Yeah.
it lifts, it pulls out, it takes away of their definition. They look significantly older. Like a lot of women, especially, they have like wrinkly skin.
Right.
It makes them look like grandma, even though they're more really young.
Yeah.
So we often have to remove the skin, which leaves a scar. And even with the scar, people tend to still feel and look a lot better because they can see the muscle definition and such.
Absolutely. But there's a way for that scar to fade, correct?
Exactly, over time. And that's the thing is I'll post those things right away and they look very visible and we'll get all these negative comments. I mean, but it's very uneducated of those people to respond that way because they don't know what it's going to look like a year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years later when that's faded, their muscles are tighter and they get really serious in the gym. This whole process, you guys, regardless of plastic surgery, dermatology, or fitness, is dedication, discipline, consistency. If you don't do those things, you will not see results. Of the skin, for example, I use probably 8 to 10 products every single day, and you have to do it consistent. I get a facial every month. I'm getting a laser every couple months. That's how you maintain your skin. I haven't changed or transformed. I wouldn't have changed or transformed my body in the way that I have if I didn't eat right, if I didn't take the supplements or work out consistently like 5 to 6 times a week with a trainer.
Well, that's the thing, right? Consistency is key with anything that you do in life, whether it's your physical health, your mental health, or your business. You have to stay consistent.
And that's the thing. I think Americans now are all about quick fixes. The filters that change everything.
Yeah.
Even TikToks and Reels, you're checking them out in 15, 30 seconds. Quick. Everything is immediate.
Right.
But the bottom line is
that instant
real health
gratification.
is not not instantly gratifiable. I don't know what the word would be.
It takes time.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen that before in things like Extreme Makeover and other TV shows where they put people in a month, 2 month, 3 month workout routines to lose all this weight. And you have to do that to get the results. So when you first start training people, do you make them commit to a certain amount of times or sessions or a routine?
Yeah, I would love my clients to start off ideally with 2 to 3 times a week. But again, it depends on their fitness level. If they've never had a trainer before and they've never been in the gym, I start them off with twice a week because I have to get them adjusted and acclimated to the gym and working out and moving their body in ways that they haven't moved it before.
Yeah.
But for someone like you, I mean, as many times a week as you want to come in, that's great. But again, it just depends on the client, their fitness level, and what their goals are.
Yeah.
But anywhere from 2 to 4 days a week.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about you started out when you were younger, running, getting into it. How did you actually become a trainer? Why did you make this your career?
Great question. That goes way back. So I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. And when I was 19, 2 days after I turned 19, I hopped on a plane and came to California with 2 bags full of clothes and nothing else. And figured out a roommate situation. And I just knew that I wanted to be in LA and I knew that I wanted to help people.
Had you been to LA before?
Yes, when I was a kid.
But what did you know about it? Why LA?
Once before, well, when I came out here when I was a kid, I don't know how old I was, maybe 8, 10. I just knew that once I landed, I was like, LA is it. Like, this is the place. I really want to be here. And I remember one time telling my mom in the kitchen, and I was maybe like 12. I told her, I said, Mom, I'm going to move to California. And she's like, yeah, okay, sure. And sure enough, 19, I did it. I just bought a one-way. Christmas Eve, came out here at 19 and figured it out. And I just knew I wanted to help people. I knew it was going to be health related. I just didn't know what specifically. And I used to live more mid-city, and I started going to LA Fitness, and I was there every day. And I became friends with one of the trainers there who encouraged me to become a trainer because he saw I was there all the time. Granted, I still didn't really know what I was doing in the gym. I was just messing around and looking up, exercises on the internet and YouTube, and eventually went to school for personal training and sports nutrition. And a year later, I started training at that same gym when I was 20. And I was there about 8 months, and I realized how much I didn't like corporate. And so I left, and it took me a minute to build my clientele. So I was bartending, I was working at Nike at one point.
So you were doing multiple jobs to try and make it.
I was, yeah.
And what were you then doing to get the clients? Because to me, this podcast is about hustlers, about people who have determination.
Yeah.
And, when I first started, I literally, everywhere I went, I handed out cards.
Right.
I gave everyone a free facial in the office. I told them they got to come to see it. And you networked and you build. It's the only way that you can get your reputation, your name out there. So what did you do to get that, build that reputation?
A lot of it was word of mouth and being seen. So I was constantly in the gym, always working out. People would come up to me and ask me questions, ask for advice on training and nutrition, and I was more than happy to
What did they see you doing there? Did you have a face? Did you like a specific exercise? They were like, shit, I've never seen a girl be able to do that. Like, what is it that people differentiated you?
I think it was just my determination and my drive and consistently showing up for myself and the intensity of my workouts, because I didn't quit. I didn't stop. And I just kept getting stronger and better. And I still am. And I think that's what it was. They just kept seeing me, and they just continued to show curiosity. And I was always there to answer questions.
There's a lot of people that will look at a picture of yours, of mine, and say, they want that.
Yeah.
And they think there's a quick fix for it.
It's not. It takes years.
What has it taken you?
Years,
because
years.
I need people to understand the amount of determination and the amount of sacrifice that it actually takes with what you're eating, drinking, the supplements, the amount of intense workouts. Is not about just going to the gym. It's about using that time very effectively. And it's the same thing in business, you guys. If you want it to grow, you have to be very laser focused on how to make it successful in terms of reputation, in terms of, being meticulous and getting the work done, etc. So what was it that, drove you to really start to be successful, and then made people want to come see you?
Planning and vision. So you have to have a vision, and you need a plan to achieve that vision. And
what did you do for the planning?
So
what was the vision and
training,
what was the planning?
Okay, great. I mean,
let's talk about that.
Great question. It changes. It's changed over the years. And when I started, the vision was a specific physique. So I had to plan for that physique, and planning for that physique is programming, right? You have to stick to a program in order to reach those specific goals. And it's proven time and time again that a program in the gym is going to help you reach those goals. And with business, it's proven time and time again that planning out what you need to do and the deadlines that you have to hit are going to help you become successful in business.
Yeah, I agree. Planning is huge. I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, they have so many ideas, they have so many visions, and they can't always put it straight.
It's hard.
Because you're always constantly wanting to do something different. But the most successful people plan for one step, one goal, accomplish it, and then move on to the next. If you do too many things at once, you never get them completed.
It's hard. I feel like that's a skill I still need to master, because sometimes I have so many ideas in my head, it's hard to pinpoint one single idea.
Always, you guys, specialty is key. Learn something really well so that everyone wants to see you for it. That's the most successful people. When I moved to Los Angeles, I knew I was one of the first younger, attractive, high personality male dermatologists. There were some men that were here. They were older. They didn't look that good. They didn't really exercise. And so I said, okay, I'm going to be that niche. I'm going to get men to want to come and see me for treatments. And I'm going to focus on the lipo and some of the lasering that I did. And so from there, when you get those clients, they refer other people to you. Everyone finds out the other things that you do. And then those things start to expand and become very successful. So when I saw your Instagram and I saw your legs, I was like, I need to hire her for legs because her basically the best booty in LA. That's the bottom line. So my question to you is, was it always a lower body thing for you, or is that an area people do contact you for, or are they seeing you for everything?
I do have a lot of female clients contact me for lower body, specifically glutes. But when I started, it wasn't necessarily like lower body focus. I just wanted to help people. I wanted to help people feel confident. I wanted to teach people how to exercise, how to move their body properly, and how to eliminate any type of pain. If they're having back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain, whatever it is, I just want to help and give people that confidence and give them a reason to feel good about themselves and to just increase their overall strength and well-being. And it slowly just turned into people coming to me more and more specifically for like, I want strong legs like yours. I want glutes like yours. Like, how did you get your abs? And I'm rolling with the punches. I'm taking it as it comes, and just enjoying the process and helping everybody in any way that I can.
What do you feel is the representation of your brand?
Oh, that's a good question. What is a good representation of my brand?
Yeah, like what type of people are coming to you? What are you showing people on social or networking wise that's drawing people to you?
Consistency, determination, a sense of motivation, and I'm spacing on the word right now.
Like describe.
Accountability.
Accountability is huge. I would say nowadays, very few people are accountable for many, many things.
Absolutely.
People in business, I have friends and own large businesses who consistently get sued all the time. And 3/4 of the time, I would say like maybe even more than like 90%, the lawsuits that they have are people not taking accountability for their work.
Right.
So many people don't want to be told what to do anymore. They don't want to follow rules because they see Instagram, they see TikTok, and they think it's so easy to make money, or that they don't even need to work for an employer or anything like that. When people don't realize, though, owning a business is a lot more difficult than you think, right?
Absolutely.
Like, what is it? So when you went from like that LA fitness or whatever corporate area job to being a independent hustler, what did you have to do to make money?
Well, I hustled. I had to learn a lot of skills. I had to learn how to sell. I had to learn how to manage my time. I also had to learn how to manage my money because my money wasn't consistent.
Oh, yeah.
It was fluctuating. And that's a big lesson to learn, especially if you don't come from a family that is financially responsible or knows a lot about.
Oh yeah, and in LA
finances.
too, I think a lot of people want to show off a little bit. They all want to have nice cars and clothes and all these different things. So instead of saving or
Right.
putting it towards the development of your career or building, they might be buying things to flex a little bit.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying you do that, but there are people that do that. I can tell you guys, for me, when I moved here, I was hundreds of thousands in debt from school.
Right.
I had a laser that a company had given me because I did some clinical trials, and I had a cheap ass car that had over 100,000 miles. I talked about it, I think, today on our podcast, my 2003 Saturn Ion and my dog. And basically when I moved here for I think for about 7 years, I didn't spend any money on myself personally.
Right.
All of it went into my businesses and into other investments, actually, where for growth. And my apartment that I had no furniture.
Right.
I had a couch from when I was in college, you guys. Literally the same couch. I loved it though, because it was black leather. And it like looked perfect, so I keep it clean all the time. And I had a TV on the floor and a comforter and a mattress, but no box spring or bed or anything. And all my clothes were lined up around the walls. Like I had underwear here, t-shirts, long sleeve, etc. I think the only thing hung up were some suits that I had from like where you buy two get one free in New York, like one of those places, you know.
That's tough, but that builds character.
It does, but very few people are willing to do that.
Absolutely.
And I think those people are not the ones that are going to be fit and looking the way that we do, because they don't even do that in their personal life. And so do you tell your clients that what they do in the gym is a reflection of who they are?
No, but I should.
Yeah, because that's what I think it is. I truly think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because my previous boyfriend would never get up early, would never want me to work out like that with trainers and stuff. And honestly, not the best shape and not dedicated.
Well,
not
your habits show you who you are.
100%.
So if you take
Love
care
that
of
quote.
yourself,
That's true.
you'll look like you take care of yourself.
And I do think you can change. I think you can change, but you have to be willing to make the effort yourself.
Yeah, you have
because
to
no
be-
one else is going to do it for you.
Yeah, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah, I hated cardio forever. And I remember the first trainer I had when I started exercising about 2 or 3 years ago, seriously, they're always like, do a half a mile before your workout and a half a mile after. That at least that was the start of doing some cardio. We do some stuff as well before and after. And then I used to do it right after we would do it, but now I can't even do it afterwards because my legs are too tired.
Right.
I'll fall on the
But
treadmill.
you walk on the treadmill for an hour a day.
Hour and a half today.
So, yeah, see,
And I'm
look,
going to do
hour and a
again. I'm
half.
going to do
You're
another
doing
30
it.
minutes later.
I love it.
So because it definitely takes you to another place. It keeps you see the results. You get it again. That discipline transcends over into your fitness, into your personal life, into your job.
Absolutely.
And now having multiple successful businesses, you guys, and podcast is not about me to flex. To be honest, I don't even need to do this. I'm doing it for fun because I want to promote young, successful people. I mean, I do have some celebrity clients that are going to be coming on anyways who are already successful, but the story of, heartbreak leading to success or being overweight and now being super fit, it's going to resonate with someone. That's going to resonate, and I think for you, I think maybe younger women or middle-aged younger women going through the things that you went through, where maybe you didn't feel or look your best when you were younger, had lower self-esteem, fitness helped you get out of that.
It did.
I think some middle-aged people, they may be stuck on how they look after having kids or in a relationship they don't want to be in, and they've just been eating poorly and not exercising. Maybe seeing this podcast and looking at you will make them want to make that change. I think my Instagram does that for people every day. I get things where they say, I want to start those peptides because it's going to change my life, or those supplements, etc. So that's why I thought it would be great, to bring you on, because I think that you reflect that. I think your Instagram with, showing what you've done in your body over the past few years will definitely resonate over with discipline leading to success.
Yeah.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Do you have clients that have had big transformations?
Yeah, I've had clients that have huge transformations. I also have clients that I've worked with over time who came to me with really bad knee pain, and now there's no more knee pain, and they're deadlifting over 115 pounds. And it's just really, it's incredible. It's incredible to see their bodies change, but it's also really incredible to see their mental change.
Yeah, that's a big thing. So tell me, because I think that's one of the things people neglect. They think it's all about conceitedness,
It's not just physical, it's also mental. It's like,
Exactly.
when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you tend to perform better. So you're going to do better in business when you feel good about yourself.
And your relationships will be better. You'll probably make
Absolutely.
more money.
Yeah.
You'll just treat people better. And you'll probably not even give a shit about other people anymore because you're confident in yourself.
Yeah, 1000%.
So what was I going to say was, are there specific fitness trends that you just hate?
Ooh,
Because I want to tell you guys, in aesthetics, there's a shitload. So many people are like, I went to Korea and I had these 10 treatments done at once. I've been fucking doing that for 15 years. The same exact thing that person posted in Korea, I am doing in my office every single day. In fact, I was booed off the stage. I talked about this already in 2013 or 14. I can't remember which one. American Academy of Dermatology. I presented a combination that most doctors weren't doing at the time. Now everybody does it, and no one was like supportive of it. Now everybody's doing 15 things at once. In fact, I actually responded on this skinfluencer's post the other day. She's like, I went to Korea because it's the only place they have this. I was like, actually not. In my office, we do that every day. And the devices we use are 100 times up to date. The ones that they were using are 15 years old.
Oof.
And I was like, I wrote it on there with the clinic attached. I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because so many people want to fool you into thinking that something new and trendy is different and it's valuable and you need to pay for it or you need to do it.
Yeah.
And it's not always better. So like in my industry, you know, this salmon sperm is going on, is being a little crazy right now. It's an injection of a polynucleotide enzyme in the face for brightening and anti-aging. And everyone's like, oh, this is so new and different. I'm like, no, this has been done in Korea forever, but it takes many treatments. And honestly, it's an ongoing thing. It's not something that's going to make your skin turn around. Just because it's new and different doesn't mean it's better. I don't even think it's worth it, you know, or all patients where they're talking about this neck treatment called hyperdilute radius for the neck, where you use this filler, you dilute it out to help neck wrinkles. Honestly, I was one of the first people to do that in 2006 on the chest, on the neck, and on the hands, and actually became FDA approved to use on the hands. And so we've been doing it already for 15 years. And just because you're a new nurse and you're posting it on TikTok doesn't mean that it's new and different.
Right.
And so people get fooled. And so Instagram, social media is not what people think. And that's what I really think people need to realize. There's a lot of photoshopping. There's a lot of editing.
Yeah.
The real stories and the real results come from listening to people that show video,
Right.
that show their outcomes and show their transformations and actually talk about it,
Yeah.
like with video or live. So that's why I was asking you, is in your industry, are there people that are just promoting things that you know just don't work? You know, that are like, they're just doing it to get hype, they're getting views, and people think they're the best trainer in the world. But in fact, they're actually not doing anything new or different.
Okay.
Is there anything like that out there?
I think there's, I don't want to say that anyone's doing anything that doesn't work, but I have noticed a trend where people are just posting accessory exercises for glute building, like just cable kickbacks or hip abduction or band work for glutes, which are all great, but those aren't going to build your glutes. They're
Right.
going to get them stronger. If you want to build your glutes, you need to focus on compound movements like deadlifts, back squats, front squats, hip thrusts.
And girls always get worried about doing that because they think they're going to get really big.
Yes, that's a big misconception.
Huge.
Within the fitness industry. And I've gotten that comment quite a few times where I have female clients come to me and they're fearful of getting big or bulky. And it's just a matter of educating people and letting them know that muscle is more dense than fat. And you can lean out your body and put on lean muscle and shape your body to the desired look that you want without getting quote unquote bulky or big.
Girls aren't going to get big, you guys, unless they're on testosterone or they have a big bone. They're big boned naturally because girls' hormones do not allow you to get super big like that, or muscular like this. Now, if you want to get super toned and perky and build that muscle, you can definitely do it with higher protein diets and the right type of exercises.
Absolutely.
But that's the thing. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what girls not doing weights or doing too many weights and looking like a guy.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Ask that one more time.
Like girls doing too much weightlifting and then they're going to look like a guy.
Yeah, but again, it really just depends on like the person and what their look is that they're going for. But no, you won't look like a man.
Right.
You'll put on muscle, but depending on what your goals are, there's certain ways of training to keep your body to a desired shape and look and size.
Yeah. So if women wanted to maintain their overall like health and well-being, what should they be doing to be fit, to be healthy, look and feel their best.
Yeah, they should absolutely be focusing on building lean muscle mass, moderate cardio, cleaning up their nutrition, and focusing on protein and staying hydrated. It's going to be key. And getting enough sleep, I think that is sometimes overlooked. Sleep is crucial for muscle building and repair and recovery and performance. Because if you're not getting enough sleep,
Yeah, me and Alec don't sleep, period, at all.
I know.
It's terrible. I don't know how I look this way,
need
but
to figure that out.
it's my peptides and my supplements. No, I think sleep is a good thing to talk about. Let's talk about that. I talk a lot about peptides being used to have high quality sleep. I personally think everyone's body has a certain amount needed.
Yeah.
The studies show that if you have over 8 hours a day, you're going to live longer. It shows decreased inflammation, less heart attack and stroke.
Okay.
If you get less, that doesn't mean I don't think that you're still at a higher risk. I just think that you need to do other things that decrease your stress or make the quality of sleep very good during that 4 hours, because you need to get in a REM sleep very fast.
Yeah.
And you'd have good sleep where you're not waking up. So that's where things like supplements come in. Again, the right type of hydration. There are a few peptides that could be used that help sleep. So for example, PT141, you guys, which is one that's used for libido. It's used for serotonin and dopamine escalation in the brain. And it helps guys have stronger erections. It really does. Women's orgasm, stronger erections. And guys, and it gives you a tan. It does many different things. But it does all the things you want. Yes.
Which peptide would you recommend for a woman?
That's what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Good, don't worry. I'm going to go into it right now. So PT141 is for women, by the way.
Okay.
It was actually initially made for women that were postmenopausal, that were losing libido. And during that time, not only were they losing libido, they were losing hair, they were losing good sleep and muscle mass. So all these things started to play a role. PT was more for libido and getting more energy when you'd work out and better sleep because of blood flow to the brain. However, there's other ones like things that stimulate your growth hormone. So for example, one called CJC is very important, I think, for women. It helps increase growth hormone levels. It helps sleep. It helps muscle, helps recovery. It's not going to make you muscular like being on growth hormone, but it stimulates your body's production of it as it goes down as you get older.
Okay.
And there's another called BPC, that's body protection compound that's in your stomach that also goes to hair, skin, helps inflammation in joints. That's the one in my new oral supplement. Okay. That's my new oral supplement called Vitasculpt, you guys, with BPC for recovery, for better sleep, better hair, helps gut health for anyone that has Crohn's disease or inflammatory bowel or irritable bowel. It definitely helps that. And then there's one called AOD that's in my supplement as well that helps for growth hormone stimulation and lean muscle mass. So it's actually great for women, also for men. It also has a neurocognitive peptide in there that helps the heart and the brain. So you're kind of getting a mix of everything orally. Most peptides are actually injected. So that's the thing. We'd have to see someone to see what is it that's causing the sleep disturbance. It could be stress. It could be lack of sex or sexual desire with their partner, or they're just single and not having any. Because studies show if you have sex at least twice a week, you live longer.
Oh.
Just FYI. So everyone here, comment if you're having sex at least twice a week. If you're having more, tag the people you're having sex with. Let us know. It'd be great. And we'll find out if you're good at it or if you're big. So we'll find out. EmerMaleClinic.com if you need help. So also there are other ones where your body has inflammation. And that inflammation can be from preservatives in food. I'll tell you, like, I love fast food. But when I eat really healthy for like multiple weeks and then I go to Taco Bell, I feel like shit the next day.
Yeah, absolutely.
My stomach's fine, actually, you guys. I don't have that like Chipotle way. I don't know if you guys ever saw that South Park. Should definitely put that on this podcast because it's hilarious. It's about going to South Park. It's about going to Chipotle and then you have shits all night afterwards.
Oh, no.
Everyone says that about Taco Bell. I haven't had that. But when I go there or I go to McDonald's, which I love, I literally the next day I feel like sweaty. I feel like I can't breathe the same. I don't know what, it's like everything is like messed up and it's the chemicals. It's all the chemicals. Even like Starbucks, for example, everyone thinks like those egg bites are great, right? Those egg bites, I think, have about 100 ingredients. We will verify for the podcast because I think they have over 100 ingredients in them,
Oh, wow.
which is insane for a egg white
Yeah.
with red pepper. That's it.
Nuts.
So you can just make that at home with 2 ingredients and maybe a little bit of butter, which would fit carnivore diet. So that's what I think makes a huge difference. So if people have all that inflammation from food, from lack of sleep, from stress, from lack of sex, I mean, there's literally a million things. You're getting UV exposure, environmental damage outside, then all that needs to be reduced.
Right.
And that's not going to be fixed with just working out.
No.
So that's going to be your diet. That's going to be working out and that type of thing. So how many of your clients take it seriously?
Honestly, all of them.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are there any that you have to like set in line?
No.
Be like, if you don't do this, you are not working out with me anymore.
I've had a few clients in the past.
Set it straight.
Yeah. I've had a few clients in the past where I've had to be a little bit more stern.
You're fired.
Yeah, right.
You have to sometimes. I
Sometimes
fire
you
people
do
all the time.
Yeah, sometimes you do as a trainer have to fire your clients because they're not following instruction or they're not doing their part outside of the gym because there's only so much that I can
Yeah.
do. I can
And
program
then
for you, I can train you, I can teach you how to do things, I can give you advice. But if you're not sticking to it outside of the gym, if you're not doing your cardio, if you're not watching what you're eating, if you're not cleaning up your nutrition, if you're not getting enough sleep and staying hydrated.
Right, then they're going to blame you for the
then
lack of
what's-
results.
Yeah, what's the point?
And this
We're
happens to
wasting
me
both our
all the
times.
time. I have a girl that
Yeah.
just tried to sue me right now or threatened to sue me. I'm rolling my eyes, you guys. And I know I don't care if patients of mine see this and complain, but listen, I'm allowed to have my opinion. When someone comes to me and says, I tell them they're going to do multiple sessions to improve their skin. You need skincare every day. You got to do facials every month if you want your skin to look either like mine or the best.
Consistency.
And then you do one laser.
Yeah.
And 4 months later, after we've contacted you 6 times to come back, buy skincare, do your next laser, you complain that your results only mildly good and you thought it was going to be 80%. You now try to threaten me for all the money that it cost. I'm not going to take that well. I get this a lot, actually more than you think. And now in the old days, I used to be like, you know what? I want to please everybody.
Yeah.
I would either, give a free treatment or maybe refund a little bit. I won't do that now because I said it straight. I tell people the truth. And the truth is beauty is expensive. And so is training. You know how much I spend, you guys, just FYI, on training, at least $4,000 a month. Okay. And not even the training alone, the supplements. I do at least $500, $600 a month on vitamins, on all different types. Peptides, $2,000 or $3,000. And I get them for a cheaper price because I work with the pharmacies. So I'm investing that much myself to live longer and feel better. Check out Brian Johnson. We need to get him on this show. We're going to tag him. Brian Johnson to me is not necessarily my idol, but definitely the GOAT, in my opinion, of anti-aging, because he has the money. He's able to, at the extreme level, test what people should do to live longer and look their best, right? And who's going to be able to do the working out with trainers once or twice a day, a red light, a cryotherapy, a cold plunge, 100+ vitamins. I take 40 something. I thought that was a fuckload.
Yeah.
Brian is taking over 100.
Who is this guy?
You'll check him out. He has his own Instagram. He started, I believe, Venmo or PayPal. I can't remember which one. I think it's both, maybe Venmo, and sold it for hundreds of millions of dollars. And now is using
trying to
age backwards. Yeah. So his philosophy is don't die, which I think is great. And I truly love his Netflix because I think his Netflix documentary shows a compassionate, caring person for humanity. He's doing what the government, science will not allow you to do because you can't test it on someone. So he's testing himself. And that's getting gene therapy in Honduras that's 50 grand, but yet no one would ever be able to afford it. And testing his muscle mass and his erections and his sleep afterwards, and testing cosmetic treatments and testing, which he should be coming to me for, and testing, peptides and all these things and figuring out what actually works. Now, he created his own company, which is called Blueprint, by the way, now that I think about it.
Oh,
it's called Blueprint,
How
and
funny.
it is all different high quality sourced protein powders and
Okay.
vitamins
I'm
and
gonna have
stuff.
to check that out.
Yeah, he's definitely an inspiration in my opinion. People could say whatever they want about him, about how he looks. Some people call him a vampire because he looks very, very, very pale. And, but he doesn't go in the sun because the sun, UV damage,
Yeah,
right?
it
Every
bleaches your
little
skin.
thing you could think of that needs to be done. And part of that is sacrifice, not only sacrifice to do that every day, because imagine now there is no cheating when you're Brian Johnson. Because if there was, the entire world would be like, you fucked up,
Absolutely.
and they'd be like, you forget that age reversal, you're screwed, that type of thing. Like it would all just come out. So he doesn't. The other is he can't do that personally like everyone else can do, where they have cheat days and the other stuff, because he is the extreme clinical trial. And it's pretty cool. He's even brought his son, I believe it's his father or father-in-law, involved in all these therapies and stuff. And he has proven that in a few years of doing this, that he was able to slow down his aging process by over 50 to 100%. I guess what would be, let's say, every year 100, he's now at 50 to 60. So he's slowed it down 30 to 50%. And I don't think anyone can truly evaluate this as well as I can as a doctor, because I understand not only the medical and the science behind it, but also the actual things that he's doing.
Right.
And the funny thing is I'm like a mini version, which is why I was saying I need to get him on this, because I have a red light at home.
Yeah.
I
see it on your story.
I have a full red light standing and I have a bed at home at the office. I have hyperbaric oxygen machines. I have IV therapies. I haven't gone to gene therapy in Honduras, but I would pay for it just to go. If you want to do it, we'll go film it. I would totally do it if you can get me in. I do the PRPs on my hair. I do penis injections. I do the supplements. I do 40, not 100, but I'm more close to the average person that would invest in trying to live as long as they can and be healthy. And that's my clients. My clients that work hard, are working professionals, make good money. They want peptides to have better muscle tone. They want to be on the GLP drugs to be lean and fit and prevent diabetes and Alzheimer's. They want these supplements that they think will help them. And they're willing to do things like hyperbaric therapy and IVs and these anti-aging and get trainers. And he has his trainers. They live with him.
That's amazing.
Literally,
I didn't know that.
his assistant and his trainers. So it's on Netflix. Check it out. We can put the name of it. I forgot what the name of it is actually, but I saw it day one that it came out and I thought it was great. And I've actually been waiting to do a review of it. So I'll probably do a review now so we can post it after we post this podcast, because I'm sure they will call, what is it called?
Don't Die, the Man Who Wants to Live Forever.
Yeah, Don't Die, the Man Who Wants to Live Forever. You should definitely check it out. And whatever opinions you guys have of somebody like this, you should hold it back, because this is a person that actually is trying to help humanity, because they're willing to test it out on themselves. And it's very few people that are willing to take risks like that anymore. I know doctors nowadays, even with what I do, they're not willing to do these types of peels and lasers and strong treatments on darker skin tones because of risks of side effects. And I actually had I'll have like negative reviews and stuff every so often. And one of them was saying like one where a person was like, he burned my face and he does stuff. It's not true. Unfortunately, in medicine, there's something called HIPAA where I can't then post the pictures of the patient and say that these things were a lie. We're just basically supposed to take in the ass, unfortunately, as a doctor, which is really annoying. And I wish that would change at some point. But so that will be up there, and my patients that maybe will never come to me will see. And whether or not they believe it. Well, I just had these two girls that came to me. Actually, one posted a review today, which I can give you guys to post. And she was burned by somebody in New York, a doctor that I'm not going to name. And she came to me despite seeing those reviews that said, I burned someone's face or I harmed somebody or whatever. And her sister, she also sent me her sister, who had severe acne scars and was so depressed. And she's beautiful, by the way, where she would wear her hair down all the time and never take a selfie, even in her 20s. all just because of her acne scars. And so I said to her after we did treatment, I actually posted it today on my Instagram, her phenol peel. This type of peel is the most risky type of peel. It's the most likely to cause scarring or discoloration, and very few doctors know how to do it. So we did it on her, and it's like 90% improved.
Wow.
And she's now, her hair is back. She's taking selfies. Her sister wrote me over the weekend and actually did it on a voice recording. I have it. And I asked her if I could post it online, which I'm going to do. And it basically was like, we came to you because people said bad things about you. And every other doctor that we saw, some of them even said bad things about you. Wow. And we were like, if somebody says all these bad things about somebody, there's got to be a reason that they stand out. There's got to be a reason they're willing to take a risk. She's like, my sister needed somebody that was going to take a risk because she was so depressed. She had such severe, and I needed someone that was willing to take a risk because I was burned, you know? And so it's very interesting to look at the way things are perceived, because you could see things in one half full or half empty. And to me, when you look at a review like that, often it's not the person, the doctor, it's the person. And I think the reason I was bringing that up is people say a lot of that about Brian. They'll say, oh, he just has money. He's just trying to make money by selling his supplements. So that's why he's doing it. No, actually, he's actually doing this to try and make cures for people, to help people with autoimmune disease, to, you know, prove that you can live and have a healthier, better life that everyone talks about, but they're not willing to do.
Yeah.
You know, all the patients come to me like, I want to work out. I want to do this. Oh, it's $10,000 to do 3 months of the peptides. I don't want that. Well, you just told me that you wanted to live longer. So if I said to you, it would cost you $2,000 a month to live 10 extra years, would you spend the money?
Yeah.
Even if you didn't have it, you'd figure out a way, right? It's the same thing. There was a recent study, I don't know if it's true and I haven't enough time to read it yet, that showed that if you drink Coke at least twice a week, you decrease your lifespan by 10 years.
Whoa. I mean, I believe it. Coke
10
is so
years.
bad for you.
Brian will say that, I'm sure. I'm sure he could collaborate. Maybe he's already done that clinical study. But what I'm saying is, though, now that that's out there, if you put a note on every one of them that said, by the way, if you drink this, your life will be decreased, do you think people will stop drinking it?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
Probably not. And I'll tell you why I know that. Because cigarettes, even though it has gone out of favor, it says right there, you can die, and people do it. Right? So it's interesting what people will and won't do. And that's why when I bring it back to what I do, and I've had people threaten me, you know, they do a treatment and I say, that might not look good, you know, oh, I want it there anyways. Like I had a woman that wanted under eye filler and I told her, I'm like, you're not a candidate for it. You need laser. She's like, well, I've done it before and I think it's going to look good. And I'm like, it's not going to look good. I can do it, but if it doesn't look good, you're going to have to reverse it. She writes me this whole long thing a month later when it didn't look good, because at some point that filler becomes puffy. And she writes this whole long thing, how I messed up and I have to, you know, pay her money and all stuff. I'm like, no, we had this conversation. You were the one that said you wanted it. I was actually doing what you wanted, even though I said, you know, you shouldn't because you need lasers. Oh, I don't want to do lasers. So a lot of people make excuses. And the reason I like what he's doing is he's going to the opposite extreme of not making an excuse. And very few people can do that. I don't know how many people could sacrifice at that level. I don't even think I could. And I'm pretty good. Like if I had people, I have pretty much everyone that does shit for me every day so I could be a doctor, and he has the same thing and I don't even know if he can. And one of the things though that's sad about that, if you watch the documentary, is he doesn't have relationships. And so he's dated maybe 2 people, I don't know, on the movie, but for real. But he's dated very few people because you can't go to dinners, you can't spend time, you need to sleep at his exact time, his exact wake up. You know, imagine having that much of a regimen. So what I think what you're doing and what I do is kind of like that level, but not as extreme.
Yeah, you have to find a balance.
Exactly. So that's what I was going to ask you on the next part was, if you're that dedicated to looking as good as you do, and I'm the same, how do you have that balance?
Well, For one, I don't really drink. Every once in a while, I'll have a glass of wine.
Brian
if I'm
will
out
agree.
to
That's good
dinner.
for you.
Yeah. I don't smoke.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't do drugs. And I'm pretty much a homebody. I'm in bed around 8, 9 o'clock.
So see,
sometimes
you're
10.
following the Brian regimen,
Yeah.
basically.
I don't
there.
really go out. I mean, occasionally, obviously, I'm gonna go out and have a nice dinner with some friends and have a glass of wine. But for the most part, I stay active. I'm active throughout the day. I also do Pilates and hot yoga, and I run track on top of weight training. So I stay active. I still have a social life. I still go out. I still have friends. I just usually spend time with my friends during the day, or they'll come over and I'll make them dinner. And that's
So your
how I
work-life
find my
balance is,
yeah.
integrating fitness and health into your everyday life,
Yeah.
and then combining that with the things that are more fulfilling with friends and family than partying and drinking and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And that's the
just
thing.
what I enjoy.
And
But
so-
I think what I've noticed as well is clients that have come to me and they drink a lot and they go out a lot and they eat unhealthy foods. The more they start training and the more they realize that their body is adapting, it does something psychologically. And more often than not, the more consistent they are showing up at the gym, their habits outside of the gym start to shift.
Yeah.
And they start to have
Especially
a
if they see
lifestyle
the
shift.
results and they feel, and I
Absolutely.
think the same thing happens with skin. Like
Yeah.
this one girl, what I'm known for is trying to do bigger treatments that are a little more risky up front and getting a big change, so then you maintain it afterwards, so you get that self-confidence more quickly.
Totally.
I give people the options. Those bigger things up front may be more expensive, they may be more risky, but it can lead you to a place quicker. But you still need to maintain no matter what. And so I'm known for doing those bigger things. And when people see that, I mean, even one of the text messages we got from that younger girl was a picture of her with sunglasses, her hair back, bright light on her face in the subway, waiting for the subway, and her texting her sister saying, I'm literally crying right now. I've never taken a picture of myself like this without makeup ever.
That's beautiful.
And I feel confident, and like I started crying. Like literally, I was like, I need to take a video right now because I was like literally tearing up, because my whole life, all I wanted to do is help people. But I've had, the way the industry is going and the way I think society is going is there's so many haters and opinion people out there now because they have the ability to do it on social media. And it gets to a point where you can only educate people so much and you can only defend yourself so much. So you either have to completely shut it out or you take the risk that every person so often here or there, you're just not going to make happy, but you do your best. And that's, I'll go through those rough patches over the past year or two with little scenarios like I described where, someone says I ruined their face when literally I've seen them in person. They look perfect. It's mental. And I feel bad for them because they're so stuck on something that no one sees or that doesn't even matter. But yet, it does to them. And it's, there's a psychological component. So I think for training, you can reverse a little bit of that because you get less stress, less anxiety, less caring about yourself per se, or what others think about you, because you build that confidence.
Absolutely.
And do you feel like you're a different person than when you first started working out?
Totally.
What was different?
My confidence in myself, how I carry myself.
I know I saw you at Kith when you were at Kith. You remember?
Oh,
Putting
yeah.
on the coats, showing off her bod. And let me tell you guys, when we were in Kith, by the way, has awesome clothes. I love Kith. She was wearing little crop tops. Crop coats.
Yo.
The little coats. Not
so
like
cute.
a regular
I love
coat.
it. It's my
Why?
favorite.
Because you want to show off her stomach.
Yeah.
Would you have shown up your stomach at 19, 20?
No. I feel like I was feeling more confident in my body when I was like 19, 20, 21. And then
What about now?
Now I feel great.
See, that's the
I
thing,
feel
you guys.
grown.
I
feel fit.
And that's the goal, is like I'll have clients, and I have clients in the gym that we were talking about
Yeah.
who no one even knows that they've had surgery with me. They work out all the time, but they didn't have that sculpting, or their butt wasn't as perky, or they had cellulite, and it literally was the end of their life. And that little procedure didn't change anything with their working out. It just gave them now the ability that the workout would allow them to see the results they were looking for, that they would never have been able to get. That's what a plastic surgery or cosmetic dermatology or whatever treatment it should be. Like we had a patient in New York recently, this guy, Frank, I'm going to call Frank out. We could show Frank's before and after when we do this because it's dramatic. He lost I think it was about 100 pounds and had sagging boobs down to his stomach, sagging penis, sagging everything, you guys. He's the only person, the first person ever that I've had that literally showed his face and full treatment. And we actually did a live injecting his penis 2 weeks ago for enlargement. And he showed the before and after with his face. He didn't care. He was like, I'm so happy now after 2 surgeries of my body. He's into bodybuilding. He has these amazing before and after photos now showing the muscle, showing the stomach tightening and his bigger dick. And the thing is, I've never seen someone so confident now. Like even this confident that when we went live on Instagram a couple weeks ago, people were remembering him and being like, Frank's back. We need to know like everything about, we love you, Frank. Like they're literally people holding signs. Like it was, you would, you know what I mean? You would think it was like, you would think that someone was at a concert.
Right.
It was crazy how much people were, and people are still writing. And so I feel like that level of confidence is what training can do. But Frank couldn't have gotten this body without a plastic surgery.
Yeah,
skin,
loose skin,
tons of skin. It's hanging.
Get rid of the loose skin.
And imagine you guys, if you're overweight or have hanging skin and you want to see your penis, you can't. Women have this all the time where after they have kids and their vagina is like split open and hanging.
Whoa.
And they might have been the sexiest, hottest mama, young chick in college. And now I swear to God, their vagina's like all messed up. And so what do they need? They need to do these treatments to get it better. And then afterwards, I'll have husbands come in or I'll have them be like, my vagina is better than when I was a teenager. And they are so happy because the sex life is so much better.
What procedures do you do for that? Out of
Oh
curiosity?
my God. So if people have extra skin, we do vaginoplasty. It's just basically like a tummy tuck for a vagina. You just tighten it up, remove the skin, tighten it up.
That's so fast.
We get rid of the bat wings, you guys. We get rid of the bat wings.
That's crazy.
So that's number one. We do O shots all the time where we take your blood plasma, exosomes and Botox, and we inject it to the vagina, into the clitoris, into the G-spot, into the anus. And all those areas are enhanced. They're tighter, better moisture, less wrinkles. We do filler to the vagina. If there's dry up here, it's dry down there. That's what I always tell people. Your lips are here, your lips are there, same lips.
Whoa.
So I'm telling you, every guy now is going to go out to the bars and they're going to be like, whoa, if that girl has chapped lips, I don't know if I want to go down there. No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking, girls. But no, I have to the point where I have a friend, Angel, that has developed a lube for women that's anti-aging.
That's beautiful.
And that's what I mean. Like everything, these things are things people want to talk about.
Well, I'm learning a lot about this because I have.
But actually, I want to tell you, the reason I bring it up is some of the exercises you do actually help women tighten there. And so if they had a vaginoplasty or we do filler or there's a treatment I do called the Juliet. That's a laser that goes inside the vagina. All women after 30 should do this. You're going to hit 30 soon. Every year, it resurfaces the inside of the vagina, just like we do a laser on the face. What does laser on the face do? Builds collagen, right? Tightens it. It makes it look smoother, better. That's what it does inside the vagina. As women age, the hormones change. That skin is thin. It becomes looser. It becomes crinkly. It rips easier. It has more pain, dryness. It's not as sensitive. And so women don't get the same results, that with sex, the feeling that they have with sex, it's not as good as you get older. That's why a lot of women will talk to me about it. One, because I'm gay, and two, because I talk like this. I don't even care. Yeah. And I want to help them. And it's very rare that doctors will. This is a taboo subject, but some of the exercises you do, like the squats, like the hip thrusts, like the inner and outer thigh abduction and adduction machines, all help that. It
yeah,
tightens the pelvic floor. From Pilates.
exactly. I was just gonna say
Do
those are
Pilates, you
all.
guys. It'll help your vagina.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's well, even compound lifting too.
Yeah.
Lifting heavy weight is
I know.
strengthening your pelvic floor.
I know.
So
But I also
deadlifts, hip
think like
thrusts, squats, all of
it's
that
definitely
helps.
something that I feel like men are talking more about now with the penis enlargement, because
Yeah.
I do that all the time. But I think women sometimes just gets thrown aside, and they have the depression or poor sex life. Actually, one of my clients who's in her 70s had treatments with me with stem cells injected there. After having kids, she had pelvic floor issues. Now everything's resolved with Botox and the P shot and doing the yearly or even twice yearly. I have one client who literally, go back to this client. So she has the best sex now. Loves sex in her 70s, better than in her 50s after having 4 kids. I have another client, high profile attorney. I only get her a few hours a week or every quarter. And what are those few hours? She comes in the nicest Chanel mini skirt, vagina treatment, high heel Louboutins, goes right to dinner. Like literally pie power. But these treatments can be done and no one would ever know.
Yeah.
And she does them because she's like, I have the best masturbation, I have the best sex now that I'm doing these treatments. And she walks out so confident. I mean, and it's crazy, but that's what working out exercise does too.
Yeah, and I think I'm learning a lot right now because I have a few clients that are in perimenopause and menopause.
See, this is why they
and
need
I'm learning
peptides.
so much about this.
We got to get them on peptides. We got to get them for
Everything is
vaginal
just
treatments.
totally different.
But again, you guys, they're expensive. So that's the only thing is like, there's this meme online that says, you're not ugly, you're just poor. I hate to say it, but it's kind of true. And I think if you can save up a beauty budget, that's what I tell people. You don't have to do everything, and you don't have to, it doesn't have to be the most glamorous. It may not even be surgery. But if you could say, depending on what you do and what your goals are, save up a monthly amount that you put towards that, because it will make you feel good. And we have other providers, we have other options. You don't have to do the best of the best all the time. It's like getting a car and picking the options that you want, But I always tell people, you gotta plan it out. It gotta be like when I was in my residency, I was bigger. I had a 36-inch waist. I actually couldn't even reach around to scratch my ass. I would sweat. It was so difficult. Like even grabbing a seatbelt and pulling it over, I'd be out of breath. I was 230 40 pounds, something like that. And I had like 38-inch waist. And because I just thought bulking, my idea of bulking was McDonald's double cheeseburgers. I would literally work out and get a McDonald's 2 double cheeseburgers every day.
Wow.
Like it was terrible. So after that, I was like, I couldn't even breathe. And then when I would do surgery, I'd be sweating. I was like, I need to lose weight. So I started boxing. That's when I started boxing, and I lost a lot of weight, which I haven't talked about yet, but we'll talk about at some point. I don't do it now because I don't want to hurt my hands, but I was really good. And I went to this Dominican gym, and they would do this thing where they would put 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot tape on the ground, a square, and you'd stand in the middle and have to defend yourself against 4 different boxers around you. And you couldn't get kicked out of the square, or they kick you out of the gym.
Oh, wow.
So you had to take the hits, every hit.
Dang.
You were not allowed. So this is what I tell people. And my idea of that was not so much that it was tormenting, it was painful. The idea was strength, determination, the desire to actually improve and be better and look and feel your best. Because when I went there, they would call me fatty, and stuff. And these guys were like ripped Dominicans. They would be like 5'6", but they were faster than like my dachshunds, like it was insane how quick they were. So they were like, you need to get in shape. And they were just serious, and it's how people are when they come to me with their skin. If they don't take it seriously, I just say, you're not going to see these results, and I think that's kind of how you are with the gym.
Yeah.
So lastly, what advice would you give if someone like you wanted to get into the fitness industry now?
Just start.
But how?
Start.
What would they do? What advice would you give them?
Just learn. Work with other trainers. That's one way how I like to learn, because every trainer has their own method And there's a lot of trainers that know more than I do. I don't know everything. So I personally like talking to other trainers. I like working with other professionals, fitness professionals, and learning from them and working out with them.
Yeah,
Gaining
there's a
some
lot of
their knowledge.
collaboration in the fitness industry.
Absolutely. And I think that's great. Also, just people in the wellness industry. So, like chiropractors, body workers, massage therapists.
Yeah, any of
Even
those
like,
that are out there, contact me for sure. I would love to talk to you about peptide therapies and also some of the things that we do that complements, because my patients need that post surgery, post workouts. I used to get twice a week massages. They're so
yeah,
important.
it's so important. They go hand in hand. You have to take care of your body.
Yeah. And how would you say, what advice would you give them for digital media?
For digital, well, personally, I'm still growing my social media. I don't have that much of a following yet, but I know I will. It's going to grow. Just be consistent. You have to post consistently, and you're really good about that. And I
know.
learn a lot from you because you're posting every day. You post on your stories and you post on your actual page. And you also have a YouTube, right?
I have a YouTube, multiple YouTubes.
See, I didn't
We
know
have,
that.
do we have official YouTube yet? No. We have, so the podcast plus JEMD, but my JEMD has multiple subsections.
Okay.
Actually, my JEMD is almost 500,000 subscribers. We're very close.
Okay. Yeah, that's amazing. But just consistency when it comes to social media, and like I need to be more consistent.
Yeah, I mean, just to give you guys so a little education here now on social. In the old days, you could post a little bit on your feed. It would grow a following. 5, 10 years ago, it's how it was. The feed now is dead. People do not grow by posting anything static on a feed
Yeah.
unless it's a carousel or a reel. Reels are meant to get you new people. The feed is kind of like your brochure and branding. It's just there. But your stories are to the people that already follow you. So really the only way to grow is to post on many platforms so people can see it. And that's what's difficult. So now how people are succeeding is the use of AI, because they're replicating content and posting it out so often. So I don't know how social is going to be for new entrepreneurs in the future. I'm very lucky that my reputation is built up enough and I have millions of followers and subscribers because I built up during a time when it was easy to do it. Now it's a lot harder, but you don't need as many people to do it because you have AI programs. So if you're techie, you could do really well.
Absolutely.
If you're not techie, it would take a little bit of time,
Right.
but you need to be posting consistently. And one of the things that like some of the entrepreneurs that I follow will say, how many Instagrams do you have? And whoever says one, they'll be like, get the fuck out of here, because you need multiple. You have to nowadays. And that's the thing. It could even be fan pages. You need to have something where more people have the ability to see it at some point, whether or not it's important. Like in my industry, it is, because a lot of people see me from all over the world. But if local branding is all you need, it's fine. It just depends. Like I have 50, 60% of my clients fly to me. And so how do I get them to see me? It's that type of marketing.
Right.
We're doing live videos. We could do live workouts. There's a lot of other things you can do. It's really crazy, but it's true. And doing these podcasts help.
Yeah.
Because so many people see it. Like we just posted one right before this. It has how many views now? Like 50,000 or something?
So that individual post is 20,000.
20,000 in just a couple hours. So it's great. Like a lot of you eyes are on it, you know? So I think if someone's getting into your industry or even mine, they need to have a personality. They need to stand out. And I think the most important thing is being authentic is key. If someone ever finds out that you're not truthful or you lie, because a lot of people on mine will post, oh, you're so expensive. Oh, you're overpriced. I was like, yeah, but so is Hermes. And people pay for it. The smaller the bag, the more they pay.
Yeah.
The mini Kelly, double the price of the Birkin. It's crazy. Why? Fuck knows. No, I don't know. It's handmade. It's specialized. You go to the grocery store, even the little travel sizes are more expensive per unit than the large Costco size. So I always tell people, you know, I'm the Rolls Royce and they're a mess of my industry. And if someone wants to say I'm expensive, I'm going to say, yes, I am. And why am I? Because I've been doing it for years and I'm the best at it. And I care the most about my patients more than anyone I've ever seen in our industry. We have so many staff members that take care of those clients, follow those clients. You know, I'm texting with them right now, you know, and that type of thing. And I think you're very similar in the industry. I think people that are willing to pay a premium price or like do a higher level service offer personalized care. Like, what do you first do every time we come to the gym? What's the first thing you do?
Me?
Yes, you.
First thing that I
First thing you do right when I see you at the gym.
greet you.
How?
Hi, good morning.
No. Actually, how? You
Come
probably
up to
don't
you
even
and
realize. She probably doesn't even realize she does this.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You know, Alec, do you know?
I don't know exactly.
Come up
You
and give
sure?
you a hug?
A hug. You guys, a hug.
I feel like this was a pop
So
quiz.
I know, I know it sounds a little crazy, but that is personal attention, right? That's a real embrace, that is the person then you want to be going to forever.
Yeah, well,
because
that's
they know
I,
you.
I care.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is this industry and my industry, your industry has become very commoditized to the point where you could go get Botox for $8 a unit somewhere, which by the way, Botox costs almost that amount. So to be able to charge that, you're making $0, literally zero. So how would I pay any of my staff? I can't. So anyone that's getting it for that, go ahead. You could go get it because you're not going to quality. It's impossible. Or they're just doing it for free on purpose to get a post or something like that. The personal attention makes a difference. It makes a huge difference. This weekend alone, my fiance was 3 to 6 hours a day talking to people on the phone that are clients of ours for treatments, for planning, following up, making sure they were okay. I don't know any doctor's office that does that. And so I think on your side, that personal attention with, the greeting of the hug and talking about your day and knowing everything you know about us adds value to your service. And that's key, you guys. You want to charge the most. You want to have clients the longest term. You need to add value. Rather than charging more, you add in things that are going to make them want to keep coming to you.
Absolutely.
So that's really it. Is there anything else you'd want to say to any viewers out there or anyone that is trying to get into the fitness industry?
Yeah, find your niche and find know what your why is, know why you're doing it, and just be confident in your ability and keep learning. Learn as much as you can and put your knowledge to the test.
Great. So that's it. You guys heard Chelsea Badoo Fitness on Instagram. She's my trainer. We're going to be doing a live video very soon. We'll post it, and I'll start posting a little bit more on the feed in carousel of some of our workouts. Bye, guys.